If Clash Royale cards competed in a triathlon, that is swimming, cycling, and running in that specific order, who would come out on top and who would not even be able to finish the race or start the race? My name is Will the Reaper, and that is what I will be determining in today's video. This idea was brought to me by Kiwi Bomber 7. So if you're watching this video, there's your shout out, and please make sure to comment so I can pin it. Thank you for the idea. So I'm ranking these cards from Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. Cards that I believe would have an amazing chance at winning. Decent contenders. People that are like somewhat fast. They definitely want to be in last. Dead last. People that are just cards that are just so slow that they wouldn't really be able to do much at all. And then cards that can't finish the race. They'd either just wouldn't move or they would drown from swimming or something like that. So let's get started. Skeletons. Skeletons. Are kind of slow. I don't know if they'd be able to handle a bicycle well at all. I feel like they'd be good swimmers and good runners, but that bicycle, I don't know if they'd be able to do that well. I'm gonna say they're probably in the dead last category. Um, that's a maybe decent contender. I'll give them a chance. Bomber, Bomber seems very smart. I know the bomber could definitely ride a bicycle correctly. But the bomber's not that fast, so I'm gonna say he's a decent contender. I don't think he'd be dead last. Um, yeah, goblins, both regular goblins and spear goblins, they're very fast. They would definitely be able to know how to ride a bicycle, or could train themselves like in that span of 5 minutes. Yeah, they're very fast. They'd have a very good chance at winning. Zap spell can't finish. It would just sit there in its glass bottle, and that's it. Knight is strong, but he's not the fastest. I don't think he'd be dead last compared to some of the other cards, but he'd be a decent contender. Archers, kind of like the knight. I mean, they wouldn't have their bows and arrows with them, so maybe they could like run. But based on the movement speed in the game, I don't know if they'd be the best. I think minions would be dead last. Think about it, they'd have to swim, so I don't even know like their wings are probably permanently like ruined from the water. But I don't think they would be good at all at swimming. And then running, they'd have to go on like all fours. It'd probably be really uncomfortable for them. They dead last. Arrows can't finish. Cannon, Tesla, mortar, they can't finish. They would all just sit there at the starting line, I guess that's what it's called. Yeah. Barbarians are strong, they're fast. But again, kind of like the bicycle, I don't think they'd be able to ride it properly. I think they would kind of just fall off. And they're not the fastest, so they're decent contenders. Minion Horde, dead last, because they're just more minions that would just struggle to swim and crawl on all fours. Tombstone, if you want to say that skeletons from the Tombstone can race, that's fine, but the Tombstone itself will not do anything. Musketeer, again, I don't think she'd be dead last, but she's certainly not the fastest. Same thing with Valkyrie. Hog Riders, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Remove the giant mallet from, giant hammer from his hand and the hog. And I feel like he'd definitely be able to be very fast. He has that very like athletic body, so he definitely trains for this stuff. Yeah, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Mini P.E.K.K.A, decent. Actually, no. Think about it. Mini P.E.K.K.A is just full on metal. I mean, he could throw his sword away, but I feel like Mini P.E.K.K.A would just drown in the ocean, right? In the pool. I feel like he'd be dead last. Yeah, there's no way of getting out of that. Fireball can't finish the race. Um, actually, wait, hold on. Mini P.E.K.K.A drowns, right? Because of his suit of armor. Then he can finish the race. There we go. Bomb Tower can't finish. It would just sit there. Goblin Hut can't finish. It would sit there. Giant is dead last. Now, hear me out. Every time he walks, he'd probably cover so much ground. But not only would he break the bicycle, but he also would just swim and walk so slow. Even if he takes giant, like, steps, super slow, he's not going to be able to do much. Wizard walks very slow, but I don't think he'd be in dead last category. I think I think he could definitely, maybe he conjures up a spell of speed or something like that, but he'd definitely be able to ride that bicycle properly. He's a smart dude. Inferno Tower, Rocket, Elixir Collector. Barbarian Hut, Mirror, and Rage all cannot finish the race. They would just be put down and either explode or just sit there. And Mirror, obviously, like, it's just a mirror. We're not going to say which one it would be, because if it mirrors a goblin or hog rider, or if it mirrors a giant. So, for simplicity's sake, it's just a mirror that just sits there. Skeleton Army, well, there's like 15 of them, so one of them has a good chance of making it, but even still, I don't think it would be good at all. Now, the barrel itself, the goblin barrel, would just sit there, right? The goblins inside would be very good, but the barrel itself would just sit there. Yeah. Baby dragon, dead last. I mean, I think the baby dragon would probably drown if I'm being honest, but maybe you could kind of just go like this or something. Yeah, dead last. Free spell, can't finish. Witch walks very slow, like very slow. Dead last. Prince, if you remove all of his armor, his giant lance and the horse, I think he'd kind of be like Hog Rider. I think he'd be very, very good at this. I feel like he'd be very fast. Bomber, the balloon, I think, let's see. It's gonna glide. It would just kind of sit, right? So the balloon would go like this. No, the balloon would be disqualified. How would a balloon be able to ride a bicycle? It literally can't. It'd be disqualified. It cannot finish the race. If you remove the bomb from Giant Skeleton, maybe he goes a little bit faster, but similarly to the Giant, you kind of just break the bike. Either that or just like you just like drown or walk very slow. Lightning Spell, Expo, cannot finish the race. P.E.K.K.A's definitely drowning. Like, Mini P.E.K.K.A would probably drown, but regular P.E.K.K.A's drowning. She's probably like, I think, what, like 6 to 7,000 pounds of metal. She's drowning. Yeah, she's not finishing that. Same thing with you, Golem. You guys weigh so much, and you guys you guys would just sink at the bottom of the ocean or something. It'd be crazy. Royal Giant, if you remove the cannon off his back, maybe he could do something, but again, he walks very slow, so probably dead last. Three Musketeers, I mean, maybe one of them's bound to do something, but if they're going up against, like, the Prince and the Hog Rider and Goblins, there's no way. Dark Prince, I'm going to put next to the Prince. I believe he could also, remove all of his armor. I definitely believe he's been training his body, for battle, so, yeah. Poison Spell, can't finish it. Princess walks very slow. But I'm gonna say she's probably better off than the other contenders. Because she is on the younger side, right? The witch is probably like 1,000 years old, but the princess is on the younger side. So maybe if you remove her bows and arrows, she might be like really fast. We don't know. This is all hypothetical. Don't kill me. Ice Wizard's dead last. Um, yeah, I guess if you removed all of his like ice powers, he'd have a chance, but he just walks so slow. Fire Spirit would fizzle out in the ocean, and it'd be very sad. Furnace. Now, I think of the Furnace. Actually, no, the Furnace would drown. Never mind. The Furnace can't do anything. He has a staff in one hand, and then he'd be like this. But unlike the Witch, like, I don't know. Well, no, actually, sorry. The staves and weapons would get removed, right? So maybe the Furnace has a chance. I feel like the Furnace is heavy, though, right? Yeah, and look, see the little holes right here in the card? See the little holes right here in the card? Right? All the water would go inside those holes, and it would, like, fill it up, and it would just drown. There's no way. There's no way. Sorry, Furnace, you're not finishing this race. Royal Guards, I mean, kind of like skeletons. Maybe smarter, so maybe they have a chance at the bicycle, but compared to all the other winner, chicken dinner contenders, there's no way. Miner, move the helmet and the shovel. Does he move? I think he's a decent contender. I don't really see the Miner move a lot when I'm playing Clash Royale. I think he kind of moves a little bit fast, but not super fast. Sparky would drown. Lava Hound would probably drown. I mean, yeah, I don't know about the Lava Hound. I think the Lava Hound would probably drown. Yeah, I'm thinking about going like this. There's no way. It cannot finish the race. Ice Spirit, kind of similarly to the Fire Spirit. I mean, if it goes in the water, the water's probably just going to, like, break apart its body. It'd be very sad. Bowler, remove the bowling ball. He'd still be dead last. He moves very slow. Log can't finish the race. Lumberjack, I mean, honestly, Lumberjack is getting banned. He's getting banned for cheating. He's drinking elixir, which probably makes him really fast. It's probably like steroids, right? In like football in the NBA or something. So Lumberjack's getting disqualified. Because yeah, we're gonna be playing a fair game here. Snow Golem, I think Snow Golem would also just kind of disintegrate with the water, right? I mean, think about it. If the ocean or pool that they're swimming in is not below freezing point, it would just like start melting the Snow Golem, and it'd be very sad. I'm sorry, Snow Golem. Mega Minion, oh man, remove the helmet and stuff. I really think it'd be dead last, just like the regular minions. Probably even worse. I'd be surprised if he doesn't drown in the ocean or swimming pool. Inferno Dragon, remove the helmet and stuff. Um, Probably gonna struggle with the swimming and the bicycling. Graveyard Spell can't finish. Elite Barbarians I think would be very, very good contenders, right? Because you remove the helmet and the sword, so now they have even more mobility. And unlike the Hog Rider, Prince, and Dark Prince, right? And similarly to the Goblins, right? They don't ride anything. They are literally like some of the fastest units in the game. Like on foot, they are probably the fastest unit in the game. They'd have a very, very good chance as long as they don't troll when riding that bicycle. But I think they could pull through. Yeah. Tornado and Clone cannot finish. Yep. Electro Wizard would well, here's the thing. Electro Wizard would shock the swimming pool, right? So he'd probably wipe out like half of the contenders, but even still, he just walks so slow. But he wouldn't be dead last. Yeah. Goblin Gang. I mean, Goblin Gang has an even better chance because there's 6 goblins, right? All competing. But again, I think Elite Barbarians are just so fast. Dark Goblin. Hold on a minute. Dark Goblin. Dark Goblin is so fast. And you remove the mask and the blow dart, and the little like boots he has on, for like swimming. So now the Dark Goblin could probably go really fast. Battering itself can't finish. It would literally just sink in the pool or the ocean, and the 2 barbarians would unfortunately drown. Executioner is probably a decent contender. I mean, he walks super slow, but it's probably from his giant axe, right? So if you remove that, he's probably a little bit faster, but I wouldn't say he's dead last. Bats. I don't think they drown. I don't think they would drown in the pool, but again, getting them to swim across like a mile or something like that, that's dead last. Heal Spirit. Now, I don't think Heal Spirit would fizzle out in the pool. Would it? Okay, hear me out. I'm gonna give the Heal Spirit a chance that the ocean would not affect its body, and therefore I'm gonna say that the Heal Spirit would probably have a very good chance of winning. But unfortunately, the Fire Spirit and the Ice Spirit, like the water itself, since it's not below, freezing point, and it's not above boiling point, like the Fire Spirit and Ice Spirit would just fizzle out. Bandit would be pretty good. She's super fast, especially if she dashes. If she dashes through the ocean and during the running thing, she could be very good. Night Witch, kind of like the Witch. I mean, if you remove the staff, she might be a little bit faster, but she walks so slow. There's no way. Skeleton Barrel would be disqualified or just float in the pool when you pop its balloons. Flying Machine also can't really do much. I think it would just sink. Cannon Cart would sink. Mega Knight, okay, so if you remove all the armor from Mega Knight, right, it's just a knight. Maybe he's a little bit faster, I don't know, so I'm going to say decent contender. Zappies would sink. Bar Barrel would sink. Hunter might be a decent contender. I mean, he moves slow, but he's also donning a gigantic shotgun, so he's probably bound to move faster when you remove that. Royal Ghost moves pretty fast. Yeah, honestly, Royal Ghost moves pretty fast. I'd say he's a decent contender. Magic Archer can move pretty fast. But I don't think he's like the best. Rascals move pretty fast, but again, they're not competing. Snowball can't do anything. Remove the spears, shields, and armor from the recruits. They would probably be similar to a knight, so decent contenders. Royal Hogs, I think the Hogs would probably drown, which would be horrible. Goblin Giant. I think the Goblin Giant's strong enough that he could swim and keep himself afloat. So maybe dead last still. The Goblins on his back would definitely have a very good chance, but we're counting on the Goblin Giant, who he himself would probably be dead last. Electro Dragon, kind of like the other dragons. Good luck swimming, pal. Ram Rider. I think Ram Rider would be kind of similar to like the Prince and Dark Prince and Hog Rider, right? Where if you remove the Ram, she's probably like pretty fast. Because think about it, with all if the princes lost their pony, or the hog rider lost his hog, or the ram rider lost their ram, they probably have to be really fast at chasing them to capture them again. So yeah, I'd say ram rider has a very good chance. Wall breakers. Okay, wall breakers are super fast and they carry a gigantic barrel, right? Which probably slows their movement speed by like 2 or 3 times. So if you remove their barrels, they're probably gonna run super fast. But again, it depends on swimming. So yeah. Earthquake spell can compete. Goblin cage. I mean, we could all wait for the cage to just like disintegrate. Honestly, yeah, we'd wait for the cage to disintegrate. Um, or for the goblin to finally break out, but by then you're in dead last, pal. Fisherman walks really slow, dead last. Elixir Golem really slow, dead last. Battle Healer can go pretty fast, decent contender. Firecracker can go somewhat fast, and if you remove the RPG, she probably goes even faster, so decent contender. Royal Delivery, I mean, the box would break, and then it would just be like a knight, just be a recruit that walks pretty fast, that walks pretty slow, sorry. Um, I don't know. Probably dead last, though, if I'm being honest. Skeleton Dragon's dead last. Electro Spirit, I'm going to kind of put next to Heal Spirit. I'm going to say that the water doesn't affect him. Actually, no, the water would affect him. When water touches electricity, it immediately just spreads. The second he touches the pool, bazoom, oh, gruesome sight. Electro Giant would shock the pool and probably remove half the contenders, but he moves so slow, he's going in dead last. Mother Witch, I mean, I don't think the Mother Witch is surviving the Electro Giant shocking the pool. Even if she did, she moves super slow. Drill can't finish. Okay, now Golden Knight could just use his charge ability the entire time, right? So yeah, he'd have a very good chance. But still, I don't know if it's faster than a Dark Goblin. I don't know. Archer Queen honestly moves pretty slow. I'd say she'd probably be dead last. Skeleton King moves pretty slow, dead last. Mighty Miner moves pretty slow, dead last. Phoenix, dead last. I don't know if the water would like kill the Phoenix, right? Because the Phoenix rises from the ashes and it's like a being of fire. But I don't know if it's completely made out of fire. So I'm gonna say that the water doesn't completely hurt the Phoenix up to the point where it can't move on. So it's gotta persevere. Monk moves pretty slow, dead last. Little Prince moves pretty slow, dead last. Void Spell can compete. Now, if the Goblin Demolisher, right? If we essentially hurt the Demolisher to the point where it's at half HP and it does like the charging thing, it could be a really good idea. But then yet again, like I think that'd be kind of like insider, like not inside betting. I don't know what you call it, kind of like rigging the game, right? If you purposely like stab the Demolisher until it gets to the point where it can run fast, I feel like that'd just be illegal. So using his full HP form, he doesn't move the fastest, but I don't think he'd go in dead last. Honestly, wait, Little Prince and Monk, um, do not go super slow. Like they are kind of slow, but they're not like unfathomably slow. Um, and I think they do decent with swimming. So yeah, those three are decent contenders. Goblin Curse can't finish it. Uh, the baby goblin, I think the baby goblin would definitely not be good at like optimizing how to swim, right? Baby goblins are super smart, so he would optimize how to swim, how to use the bicycle perfectly. When it comes to running, I don't know if he's as fast as an adult goblin, but he probably optimized bicycling methods so well that yeah, he probably has a very good shot. Suspicious bush. I mean, the bush itself goes pretty fast, but honestly, I think it would just drown in the ocean. Goblin Stein would be really slow. Both of them move so slow. Rune Giant moves super slow. Berserker moves really fast. like super fast. Again, I think the bicycle might be pretty difficult. Boss Bandit would be just like the Bandit. Yeah, especially if she keeps spamming the dash ability, like even faster than Bandit. Very good chance. But maybe she gets tired after that. I think I don't know how fast Spirit Empress goes. Excuse me. So I'd say the walking version's decent, but then the dragon's gonna be dead last because the dragon's not gonna be able to swim. Vine spell can't compete. And lastly, the tower troops. So if you put them on the ground without their weapons, I'd say each one of them has a decent chance. I don't think any of them would be like super fast or super slow. I think they would all just kind of walk the same speed almost. And then yeah, I'm not getting into Evos or heroes because I hate them. Thanks, Supercell. Anyway, that is my definitive Clash Royale triathlon tier list. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, as it would truly help me out a lot. And yeah, if you agree or disagree with this video, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, as per usual, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video, and take care.